Hey folks, remember these white seat covers I put on about a month and a half ago on my car? How are they holding up? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Tesla Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. My name is Dax. Now, about a month and a half ago, and this video isn't probably going to make any sense unless you watch the previous video where I actually replaced my seats. Actually, I didn't really replace. I just covered my black interior seats, which used to be black, and I put white seat coverings over top by a company called TeslaMarket.ca. They're not the makers of them, but they're the, I guess, the shipper or the seller, or anyways, they're the ones that sold me the seat. I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want these seat covers. This video is going to be the pros and the cons. There's been some challenging things that I had to go through with these seats. Color aside, just to get them right for my personal use. So let's go through it. You guys can determine at the end of this whether they're worth it for you. And at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. I can't make that decision for you. I can only be honest and unbiased and tell you the pros and cons, that my experience on how I had to go about getting these seats the way I wanted them. So let's go through it. So when they were installed the first time, they had some wrinkles. As you can see there on the top of the headrest, there are some wrinkles there. Now, I was told by the manufacturer and then the installer that these wrinkles will go away over time, especially in the summer as the car interior heats up and stuff like that. Now, when I got these installed, maybe it was bad timing for that. It was about late September, early October, so it was not ideal situation and temperature for the seats to actually have the wrinkles disappear. As you can see, there's some more right here, some on the seat here, if you can see through the shadows and the blinding lights and everything. So they haven't gone away like I thought they would. There's some right here. This is more from my son because this center console comes down where the drink holders are, and he left it down for a few days. This will probably go away because this wasn't there before. But like I said, the wrinkles didn't go away. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm reserving my judgment till summer because it honestly wasn't warm enough, in my opinion, for the wrinkles to go away with the heat and stuff like that. So I think when it comes to wear and tear, my family is a perfect family to actually judge this. Let's get in the car here. And my kids sit in the back seat here. So let me just show you right here, going down on the bottom after 6 weeks of usage. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, if the camera picks up, it's not a shadow. That's actually a scuff mark there. Some more scuff marks there from the kids' feet. One right there, so I can't even blame one kid. It was both kids there. But this is going to happen. If you have kids, you may want to if you have kids, you might want to have a second thought on getting these seats. Call me crazy, folks. I've got two kids that are young, and I decided to get white seat. Luckily, white seat covers. So, you know, crazy? Yeah, I probably am, but I did it smart, I think, because if I don't like these or if they get ruined, I'm not ruining the whole car and not ruining the whole seats. They just come off. But with that said, I think they're pretty durable. They, a few days ago, call me crazy once again, I allowed the kids to eat ice cream in the back, and my son got blue ice cream right around here. And as you can see, the camera's not doing any tricks or anything, it actually came out. So they're pretty durable in terms of washing and getting them taken out if there is anything that happens. So I'm not too worried in that case. You just have to maintain it well. To have white interior seats, with or without kids, there is going to be some maintenance that you're going to have to do, folks. Speaking of durability, I'm not really a blue jean type wearer of jeans and stuff like that, but occasionally I do. My wife wears more, but luckily she doesn't drive the car as much as me for more than one reason. But anyways, as you can see, blue transfer has been a blue denim jean transfer has been a big problem with the white seats, even the stock ones through Tesla. As you can see, there's been no issue with me. But like I said, I don't wear blue jeans a lot, so even the piping here seems to be good. There's a little bit of maybe some discoloration coming on here, but okay, folks, let's talk about the almost deal breaker for me and would possibly be for other people here. Now, here's the nature of how you put these seats in. Now, when you put the back seats in, now remember, this is a seat cover, so it's pretty thick. As you can see here, I'll just use this for example. That's the thickness of it, and it's got some cushion to it. Now, before I go any further, folks, while we're on the topic of these seats being thicker, what I will let you know that is a negative for me, but for some people it may not be, is because they're thicker, when you put the seat heaters on, now I know some people wouldn't have rear seat heaters, but even the front seat heaters that everyone should have, when you put the seat heaters on, I found some cold mornings, and we haven't even hit winter yet, I've had to, when I normally put the seat heaters on level 1, you may need to put them on level 2 just because it's extra thick, so it takes extra long for the seats to warm up because it has an additional layer that the heat has to go through. So keep that in mind. It's not a negative, but it's just something you might just want to keep in mind, that because they are thicker, the seats are going to take a little longer to warm up. Well, getting back to the issue that I almost had, folks, or the issue that I did have and I had to rectify, and I almost wasn't able to rectify it, and you may not want to rectify it in the fashion that I did, and it may be a deal breaker for you. So because these seat covers are thicker and it's an additional thickness, when you put this on, and like I said, I'm not going through the whole process, but you put this on, and you know how this whole back seat cushion comes out and then it goes back in. When it goes back in, this is what happens to the seat belt. This one, the middle seat belt, comes out no problem because it's extra long, but the ones for the left and the right that are but that are recessed in here, the problem happens is because it's extra thick, now these recessed belt latches are further down into the seat, and they don't come up as they normally would if you didn't have these seat covers on. So when you go to put the seat belt on, for one, there's sometimes material in the way, but that could be moved out of the way, and I'm probably gonna have to move that anyways. But when you go to put the belt in, you have to really yank on it to get it in, and I got it in there. But even a grown adult like myself has trouble getting that in, and it's a little more cumbersome, and you don't have the leverage that I just had because I'm on my knees here making this video. But if you're sitting down in a normal position and you're trying to put these in, it's a little challenging. So you can imagine a child putting this in, or an elderly person putting this in. It could be challenging. They come out totally fine, but putting them in, that's a different story. So that was my first hiccup. So what I had to do is I figured, okay, I'll get some seatbelt, they're called seatbelt extenders, and I went all over Amazon searching for the proper seatbelt extender for the Model 3, and after trying 4 or 5 different models and sizes and styles and everything, I came up empty-handed. There was none of them that actually fit. The problem is they would go in here fine, and they'd latch into there, but for some reason this buckle right here was a different size or different length or different width, and it wouldn't always latch into the extended part, like this part. It wouldn't latch into the aftermarket piece of this part. So like I said, I tried 4 or 5 different ones, and some cheap ones, some expensive ones, and none of them worked. Okay folks, let me stop for a second before we go any further. Let me address the part that I just said there about the cheap versions of these things when it comes to aftermarket seatbelt extenders. When it comes to seatbelts, and you can make this judgment for yourself, but when it comes to seatbelts and people that you put back here, like your loved ones, your friends and family and stuff like that, in my opinion at least, and you may differ with me, it's up to you, I'll leave it up to you, whatever you decide you want to do, I wouldn't cheap out on their safety and stuff like that. Not that I don't trust them, yeah, no, you know what, I can't say that I fully trust the seatbelt manufacturers for making those extenders, that they're good quality, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to restrain your passenger, which is in this case your loved ones, in the seat in the event of an emergency, in the event of an accident or any kind of collision. So if it means that I have to spend a little extra, a few dollars extra in having the peace of mind knowing that I can sleep better at night, knowing that when my family is on the road, on road trips and stuff like that, or even my friends when they come in the car and they sit in the back seat, knowing that they're safe and secure in there, to me that goes a long way. So do whatever you want to do, folks, but I'm just saying, with the solution I found, it was a little bit more, but it was worth the extra money in my opinion to spend the little extra money instead of cheaping out on the cheaper aftermarket ones. Let's get back to the video. At the end of the day, what I had to do is I had to search and scour the internet high and low, and I finally found a company. Now you can use any company. This isn't a paid advertising. They didn't pay me. I bought this with my own money. Like I said, I spent a little extra, and they are extra from what you see on Amazon and eBay. Trust me, folks, this company is probably double or triple the price by the time you add shipping and everything like that. So this is the belt right here, or the extender, and this is what it looks like. I mean, they come in different sizes and different styles and designs and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see it there. That is a company called Seatbelt Extender Pro. This is an R11. It says E8 here. I don't know what the exact model number is, and then it says On the chrome part here, it says 28. So I don't know what the model number is. The website's very easy. You put in your maker, model, year, when you want the front or back. It's dead simple. But this is what I found. Cost me a little extra. It actually works. And what it does, it just goes in here, and it's very easy to go in there. Now you can leave it in here, so all your kids and your loved ones, all they have to do is put this one into there, and then that's it. It's recessed. When they're ready to take it off, they can take it off, and then this stays here. The only problem with this staying here, when I put it into drive, if anyone doesn't have their seatbelt on, you know, the car tells you, no, this person doesn't have their seatbelt on, or that person doesn't have their seatbelt on. Well, the problem with it being in here full time, this defeats that notification, and then you don't know that if that person has a seatbelt on. So what I've told them to do, and it's up to you whether you want to keep it there or not, is release it from here. So when the whole thing comes out, like this. This stays over the shoulder when they get in the car, because they have more leverage, because this is longer and thicker. They can actually go in here and put it in and push it down, and it's a lot easier to get in. See, the problem is, if I can zoom in, the problem is this part right here hitting this part right here when you put it in the belt, because it's so recessed. So if this is in, this doesn't stick out as much, so this goes in a lot easier, and then your passenger has no problem putting this in. This was the biggest hurdle for me, and until I found one that actually fit and worked well for me and my family, honestly, I was going to take these out because it was going to be a deal breaker. So there you have it, folks. So that is my opinion on the seats. They are gorgeous. They look great. Would I have got them originally from the factory in white if I could? I didn't have a choice when I got my car, but I probably wouldn't, because I wasn't that brave, and I'm still not 100% that brave. But with getting seat covers, they can come off. So that's the beauty with having seat covers. They could be temporary or they could be permanent. It all depends on what you do. Now, when it comes to cleaning them, like I said, because I have kids, and if you have kids, you have to upkeep them a little more. But in general, having white seats, you have to do some kind of upkeep anyways. So keep that in mind. You just can't get white seats and forget them like you can with the darker colors. But like I said, the biggest thing is, and I'm bringing this to everyone's attention, and you be the judge for yourself. It may just be me. Maybe I have extra thicker material than the other ones, but in my case, actually, no, I don't, because I spoke to a couple other people that have these seats, and they ran into the same problem, having difficulty with their passengers in the back, having difficulty putting their belts on. So that is a solution. It's a little pricey, like I said. Here in Canada, Canadian, after shipping and everything, it cost me $75 for the pair, for the set there. I'm going to be able to sleep at night knowing that my kids are able to fasten the seatbelt by themselves, and they're secure and they're safe, and there's a good quality latch on there. Now, you may differ in your opinion on what I did there, or whether I should have just taken the seats off completely and not bothered with it and not used that because it's not factory. It's up to you. Leave a comment down below if you have another idea of what I could have done instead of doing that. I'm open for suggestions. Up until I thought of this idea, I was thinking and brainstorming. I couldn't think of anything else. Anyways, folks, so that's it. Like I said, right now I'm not going to say I recommend these seat covers, but I'm not going to say I don't recommend it. I know you came to this video and you want to know a yes or no. Unfortunately, if it wasn't for the seatbelt issue, I would definitely recommend the seats, hands down. The wrinkles would go away and stuff like that, and cleaning them is not a big deal. Because of this seatbelt issue and it's an added cost, I can't recommend them at this time. But if you have no problem with spending that extra money, then go about it. It's worth it. It looks beautiful. It changes the whole look of the car, and it just gives you a little more to do when you go cleaning your car every now and then, because now you got to clean the seats on top of it. You should have been doing it in the first place anyways. Anyways, that's all I got for you, folks. Let me know in the comments below if you like these seats, if you agree with what I did, or if you have a better solution. And like and subscribe and all that kind of jazz, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Yeah.